Are we ready? Well, I know I am. So, whether or not you are, it's time for another episode of the Indie Tales Game Dev live stream. Hey, my name is Adam. You are the Pixel Pals. I've already said the name of the show, so without further ado, it's time to go. Welcome everyone to the Tuesday edition of the stream. Today, we're going to be doing some more work on the Insignia Alpha. I'm on a blitz. I'm blazing a trail, trying to get as much of this done today as possible. I would love to get it in your hands very soon. So we're just going to be play testing the game and making edits to things as fast as we can. There was one thing I was supposed to do today, which is to spec up some animation for our animator, Morgan. I haven't gotten around to that yet. I don't know what I need to do to do that. There's only a few more hours in the day left for me. She started a little while ago, so for her, because she's a few hours behind us, it's a little bit different. One sec, pals, one sec. That's not gonna work. Let's move this down, press OK, move this up. Hopefully that's good enough. I don't want to like black out my eyes right now, but let me see what's happening here. You see me okay? Does that ruin everything when I look at you? I can't even tell really. That's okay? Okay. So, yeah. Today, blazing a trail through some animation. I will... You know what it is? It's this line here, I think, is creating some issues for us. That's better. Cool. All right, well, I want to jump straight into it. I think I must be tired today. I think I can see it in my face that I must be a little tired because I feel okay, but I'm feeling nervy. Like all day trying to talk to people, I'm a bit like, so I don't know. I want to say a big welcome to everybody who's here in chat right now on Twitch, and a big welcome to anybody who's lurking on YouTube. Biggest welcome to most recent follower Kyle Lott and most recent subscriber Ebekineza. Welcome. So let me share with you where I'm at right now in terms of, this is a little bit too blue, isn't it? In terms of the to-do list that I created yesterday. So I've been getting through it. These are my only things left. So I had like 25 of these things, and there's maybe like 8 or 9 left. So let's have a look. Right now, the thing on my list is I don't have a way of putting coins in chests. You would think that would be one of the easiest things to do, but it's not. And basically the reason why that is because the coins in the game don't have, they are not an item. The coins are a drop, that's or not a drop, they're like an object in the scene, but they're not classed as a kind of item that can go in the inventory, and nor should they be. The in-game inventory representation of money is just an integer value. It's just like money, you know, like a bank account. It's not like 1,000 objects of coins. So we need some way to create an object in the scene that is the equivalent of money, but that translates to bank account integer rather than things in the inventory. So it's like it needs to be like an item when you pick it up, and then it sort of gets like diverted away from the inventory, and a function deals with it and turns it into currency. Okay. Also, I'm feeling a little bit think of it like a ledger. I'm feeling a little bit like I have this feeling, this sense that if I was doing money in a video game, right, how would I draw money? How would I want fantasy money to look? And I'll tell you what I would do. okay, I would have all kinds of little gems, right? I would have like little stones with color in them. You can see why this isn't going to work. I would have like little money like this, and I would have this little bits here, and I would have lots and lots and lots of like gold coins everywhere, right? Piles of coins, right? I would have like stacks of money, right? Treasure. That's what I want the money to look like. If you find it in a chest, it should look like Aztec pirate gold, right? That's what I feel like we are expecting when we think about money in the game, right? A pile of money. And right now, we don't really have that. We have silver coins and we have gold coins, which are okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's also not like, you know, the most impressive thing in the world, because it doesn't have much, it's sort of, they're very standalone, these things. You see a coin, you pick up a coin and then a coin and then a coin. You don't pick up like, you know, 50 coins all at once. So this thing here where we've got like money and we want to show that in the game, how do we do it? Well, I think one of the best representations of like money in a video game is the way that they handle it in Shovel Knight. I think they have great money where a lot of it is colored, you know, crystals and rubies and things like that. Now, I mentioned before that we might not be able to do that. And the reason why is because in Insignia, precious gems are like the whole game's like lore. Like the magic system is based on precious gems. So it's not as easy for me to just go, oh, okay, here's a bunch of, you know, diamonds. That's the money that you picked up. But, pardon me. But there's still something nice about there being denominations of coins, you know, silver and gold and bronze and that kind of thing. You know, looking at, say, the Zelda games, the rupees are really, really efficient ways of creating reward tiers for players. You know, you can have a chest, and seeing a chest with a purple rupee in it when you open it up is cooler than seeing a chest with a red rupee when you open it up. And your brain is kind of wired to see that red rupee or that purple rupee and go, oh, 50, you know, rather than, oh, 20. So having the Zelda crystals be, you know, they're so iconic, the rupees, that it's something that I think is valuable when thinking about how the game works, that we can try to do something to approximate this sense of like tiers of value. And hey, Software Artificer, how's it going? And for me, you know, doing this approximation of tiers of value is kind of like, and doing it with colors is, like I said, it's kind of dangerous territory because Insignia already does stuff like that. So this needs to be something a little bit different. And it is possible to use other colors and do this. So primary colors are what we currently use for the magic system. But we could do something a bit more like pearlescent, you know? A good example of this would be something like the way that you know, a lot of RPGs do tiers. Hey, Universal, thank you so much. Cheers. But stop doxing me, please. So in Overwatch, you have tiers of skins, and these are colors, but they're not primary colors, right? We have like rare, epic, legendary, mythic. We have prisms. So having there be kind of like having there be, I'm not gonna respond, having there be like different versions of this. So like, you know, instead of like, you know, red and gold and green and blue, we do something like this pearlescent thing between like blue and, you know, pink kind of thing, which is like a more mythic. They call this mythic in Overwatch. Add a little bit of green in there, a little bit of seafoam. And doing something like this, but like a little bit more, I don't know how to put it. Thank you for those gifted subs, Universal. Thanks, brother. Hopefully you had a safe trip back to where you're currently working. How you doing today? Are you working today? That's awesome. Hey Chronicle, thank you so much for the sub. So, yeah, having like, see ya. You don't have to tell them that. Having there be a different kind of tier, maybe using multiple colors is a suitable replacement, I think. So let's think about how we would do that with like money. One of them is like, I guess like, let me go look at, I mean, even the Overwatch, like, Overwatch ranks. Yeah, this tends to be how it happens, right? There's a kind of like, so you have like bronze to gold, and then you go platinum, which is a more bright version of silver, which I don't love. If I was doing this, I might go bronze, silver, platinum, gold, or something like that. And then diamond, which is like another gray. So we've got like 3 grays in a row. And then master has like a green tint to it. So this idea of having like a slight tint breaks away from this this issue of, oh no, primary colors are already magic, because you're kind of mixing and blurring things. So I think like they have skins or like weapon types in the game that are called like jade, and like jade is better than gold. So yeah, I think what we probably need to do for Insignia is develop a bit more depth into the currency of the game. So in Insignia, I have these things called, the currency is called lollies. Lolleys. And it looks like this, I think. Kind of like the pound symbol, but also kind of like the yen symbol. I think that's what I do. What is the pound symbol? Am I confusing myself? Yeah. So it's a bit more like this. So there's nowhere to go against player expectations of bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, I feel. Yeah, but we're not going to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not going to have those, but in a different order. We're going to have different colors altogether, or different names for them to avoid that. So I still think silver and gold should be in there. I don't know if we'll call them that per se, but maybe they'll be like metals in the elemental sense, like silver, gold, platinum, and then like, I don't know, some sort of other like nickel or something. I don't know. Maybe we call them like nickels or something as like the lowest ones, or like tin, nickel, bronze, silver, gold or something. I don't know. We can figure something out, or we can just make stuff up. In fact, I did have in the game at one point, for the sake of crafting materials, when I was doing crafting, I had like made up things. So like zoite was the best. And zoite is, I guess, like our version of mithril. So you could have like zoite coins, mithril coins, adamantite coins. Hey, jolly girl. Thank you so much. Welcome. So there are like, what's the word? There are ways to do this. Maybe I'll just start painting them. But I also think they should be different shapes too. I think what I'm really trying to say is I think that the coins in Insignia right now are not that exciting to get because they're a little bit bland. And there's not a lot of stratification that you can use to sort of understand what's better than what. I also think they should just be maybe a little bit more saturated. I'm not sure. So let's maybe remodel this. Okay. So, if I was just drawing something from scratch to pick up in the game, maybe I would make it much bigger. Maybe it would be like this should be how big the pickups are for like coins. Or maybe if they're silver ones, like maybe like this, if it was just running around picking stuff up in the game. And looking at them right now, they're actually both, gold's about the same size, but silver's too small. I also think silver could be a little bit more, we could go brighter with some of this stuff. And just higher contrasts in general. Like that's looking even better there. Way better than that. I might take all of this and go up. Hello. We hit the hype train. Let's go. Why does that look worse than that? I think the colors might be a bit different. Are they exactly the same? They are. It just looks better. I'll get to it. Hey, Maui Makes Games. I applied for a grant last week and your pitch deck video was incredibly helpful. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. I hope that you were successful. So, brighter silver, more saturated gold. I'd like to maybe take this and pump up the saturation and lower the brightness just slightly. I think that's a bit better. And then this one here too, saturation up. Yeah, I think this is the kind of thing where the hang-ups you might have about palette, this is where you would break the palette on purpose to create something that stands out really far from the rest of the game. Hey, Blazy. Welcome. Okie dokie. Oh. Alrighty, and then let's think about maybe just taking one of these and giving it like a totally different palette. So are we in RGB mode here? We are. So I can just take a color and say, okay, maybe we want to do like a purple. Yeah, I think ultimately, and this is like not just a thing for palettes, but actually every aspect of the game. Ultimately, you need to be able to answer the question like, what is more important? This constraint that I've applied or the player's experience? If the player's experience is more important, screw the constraints. You know what I mean? So in this case, like, it's important that the player is able to recognize coins as being like something that they want to get and that stand out from the level. So if using the palette makes them blend in and you want them to stand out, break the palette, you know? Hey, Iant MP3. Have I heard about retro diffusion? I might have. Is it a pixel art? I'm imagining it's pixel art AI. That's not very good, is it? It might be. I mean, what do I do? What do I do about that? You know what I mean? It's not very good. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not very good at being a pixel art AI. Details are what pixel art is made of. So if they can't get details right, which is the whole point, it's like the thing that details is the thing that AI does last. You know, like the way that images get, how do I put this? It's the thing that is supposed to come, it's the whole thing about AI is that it takes ideas and mushes them together and then sort of like connects the dots to create the details. But pixel art, the connecting dots with the details is the whole thing. So it's really hard to say, to like teach an AI how the pixels are supposed to connect properly. At least it feels like that's the case. Chat, my brain is all over the place today. Trying to think about how to do this. Let's explore. Maybe we should do some practice. The problem is with all this stuff, all the AI stuff, is that people, well, in general, is that people don't really understand how it works. And so it's all just based on the hope that someone who's selling it to them is not lying or knows the future. It's just people gambling. That's, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. I'm drawing with a pen. I'm still not satisfied with this exercise. But I want them to be metal and not stone. Did they not release it? I haven't really been across the game. They must still be working on it. On balances and stuff. Mithril without the way. Well, opal has a bunch of other colors inside of it, right? That's like all over the spectrum. It's like more of a rainbow sort of thing. I guess I'm just trying to think if I was to make it a metal that had some kind of like, you know, okay. Let's just not do that every day, please. Well, maybe we'll just start with a color and then I'll push it into different spaces. Like, do you go deeper into the color as like inside of this? Does that make it look more crystalline? I'm learning. I'm just playing with colors and shapes and seeing what happens. In a way, I think we don't want to lose. There's something about this that's not quite right. I think it's something like, I feel like that suddenly helps it a lot. And I think you kind of don't want to lose that saturation. But then there's this problem of like metal versus gem. They are different in how we think about light. You know, metallic things have faces that are opaque. You know, this is going to be like a block of something. Yeah, very much still relevant. All the tools are the same pretty much. There's very few things that are different about Aseprite. Maybe I should do a new one though, just for people to, just because it's new. I feel like people might think that, well, I mean, the app has changed a little bit, but not like in a way that would, it's pretty much the same. Like if you use it today, you almost won't even tell the difference until like a few weeks in of using it, of like what's changed since. There might be one or two features where you go, oh yeah, this is missing, or this was changed. But the how to use it is the same. Yeah, I've been really hesitant about doing over any of my old content, because it's like that stuff it's still good. There's no real reason for me to rehash it, other than just to get more views on it, or just so that people realize that like the information is still good, without thinking that like the like, you know, new equals good, old equals bad, just to counteract that. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I'm not even against redoing my old videos. Yeah. Where is the gray? Where is the gray in these colorful metals? They're quite solid. But like, there's no metal that looks like that. But even if I pick like, say it's this, and I wanted it to be a cube that's on an angle like this. Let's start over at Leonardo land. I think it'll be easier for me not to think about pixels. Okay, if this is a cube of metal, what do we want to do with it? We want to see 3 sides. Okay, looking pretty flat right now, and that's okay. Let's start there. Now, obviously there'll be, the maximum highlight will be white. We want to just sort of flick some of that around. There will be other reflections in there, and things bouncing off of things, imperfections in it and stuff like that, scuffs and dents and whatever. There should be I guess a lot of it is in the texture. Yeah, well, I want it, I mean, I do want it to sort of come across like an emerald block, but I think, well, not an emerald block, but like a metallic, like how do I make this seem like metal? Is it like you want to see a line all the way across this? Is it that much shine? There's not really any internal light, and I'm not showing you the underside of anything, so it should look solid, but maybe I'm misunderstanding something. Is it less glossy? Yeah, you mean like... But I can't do this in pixel art. That's the only thing. Like this sort of like brushed metallic thing. The texturing is something that I can't do in pixel art. That's the only thing. But I think you're right also, that like this is how you do it. Like already that looks way more metallic to me than it used to, just doing that. So the problem here with pixel art is how do you do that? You can't do that. So there probably isn't going to be a way to convert this. You know, if I'm doing a coin that's green, and I've got the same sort of color values going on. Maybe you would have this kind of internal groove here. Probably wouldn't go this dark. Maybe you would have like a shape or something on it that kind of gave away that it was a coin. So you could do the additional things. Hey, Vex Lyra, thank you so much for the sub. Well, the thing is, it's going to be pixel art, so I can't really do anything in Blender. Like I'm learning how to draw this stuff properly. That's my goal for today. It's like, well, not just for today, but that's my goal for this task. It's like, how do I draw metal things that look like what they are? And we're just learning it. It's okay. I mean, that's already, to me, looking more metallic. Again, I think a lot of it has to do with the things, it's the detail in it that makes it feel like this. To me, looks like now a metal coin. A green metal. It doesn't look like a jade or like a see-through crystal or something that's been painted. Well, it could be painted green, but yeah, well, the problem is I'm specifically trying to see how far I can push. This task is about how far can I push color in metal for the game. Because I don't want to just do silver and gold. I want to try to use different colors. The way that they do in Zelda with the rupees. I want different denominations. Like in Harry Potter, they've got like the sickles and nuts and galleons and whatever. And it's kind of impossible to tell what's what. Because they're all kind of just brown and green. It kind of does look like a bottle cap. I agree with you on that. It's not perfect yet. It might just be about the ratio of some of these things. Or just that like, yeah, like these shapes need to be finer to give the impression of like metal. Yeah, but like this is the opposite of what I'm going for because they're so flat and dirty. And I'm going for bright and almost like, you know, does it have to be coins? It kind of does need to be coins. It needs to be metallic ingots, like metallic things, because I've already got precious gems in other parts of the game used for other things that aren't currency. So crystals is out of the question. And I want it to be intuitively precious. So precious metal is the next nearest thing. Davidel says, hey Adam, what do you think about games being too cryptic when giving info about an item? What example is the criticism of morsels that it doesn't provide much info when picking up items? It's very, very dependent on, I guess, the kind of experience you're trying to create with the item descriptions. So in a game like Dark Souls, the item descriptions, because it's not a puzzle game, the item descriptions being cryptic doesn't hurt anybody who's not looking for cryptic item descriptions, or who's not interested. Like if you just know that this thing does 5% more damage or whatever, you go, okay, cool. You don't go, who is Maribel and what is her servant and why am I holding their eyeball right now? You know, you're not trying to figure out that cryptic stuff. But for the people who are lore fiends, those people will dig through and find the information behind all that stuff, and they'll get value out of it. So I think you can do it however you like. It's more just a question of, in the experience that the player is supposed to be having right now, what is the effect of doing this thing that we're talking about? Like, what's the effect of having cryptic item descriptions? What does it do for the game? If it only does something kind of negative, well, then that's not very good. That's not very valuable. And if it does something positive, but players can't tell what it is, like they can't tell why the item descriptions are cryptic, then you've got a different kind of challenge, because you need to still be able to prove to the player that it's worth their attention for them to be that way. You know, it's not good enough to say, if your game is like full of puzzles, you can say my game's full of puzzles. But it's like if you're selling a game that's like an action game and it happens to have a bunch of puzzles and the puzzles don't help the action elements, people who are looking to have a good time with the action elements are going to go, what are all these puzzles doing in my action game? So I think it's about signaling the value in things. You need to be able to do that. Okay. That signaling of value is something that's very, very core to making a game. It is game direction. And it's the same with films as well. I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I finished it last night for the first time. I've never watched it before. And that ending is one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen in any media. It was so disappointing. And some people say they love it. But from a perspective of someone who was, so like, I understand there are like issues with that anime in terms of like the budget and what they were trying to do with it. But the problem, the chief problem that it has is that it doesn't, if it was, let's assume that that the ending was what it wanted to be, and that they were trying to make it exactly how they made it, that was intentional. The problem is that at no point does it shift the viewer's expectations of it away from action, mecha, anime to philosophical therapy session. The end of the anime, the end of the TV series. I haven't watched the end of Evangelion yet. I haven't watched that yet. We started it last night. I know everyone says to watch that because that's where the real ending is or whatever, but like, just on the topic of this conversation, just trying to talk about the anime. Terrible. Like, such a letdown. And it's a letdown because it doesn't meet any of your expectations. It sets them, but it doesn't meet them. Especially when you take the first few episodes. You look at the first few episodes of Evangelion, they're insane. There's so much attention to detail in the UI of all of the systems and the computers and the mechanics of all of it. And it really feels like you're going to get this hyper juiced up kind of, visceral, futuristic warfare. Like this look into this world, like a sort of a Ghost in the Shell, massively sci-fi turn of the century Ghost in the Shell kind of, what's her name? Alita Battle Angel sort of thing. that's what you think you're getting. And it tries to deliver that a lot at the beginning. It tries to go down that road. That's why you have the expectation, right? Because you're being asked to think of it that way. And over time, it falls apart because that's not what it is. I mean, it doesn't have, hang on. There's a better way to say this. Evangelion promises you something and then begins to be something different. And when trying to analyze the thing as a whole, it's very hard to do that when it changes and when it doesn't signal that it's changing. I have the same gripe with the second Knives Out film, where it starts as a whodunit and then it becomes a subversive comedy that's very critical and self-aware, that's not about a whodunit. And so whether or not the film is clever, people don't like to be made fun of when they're watching something, especially when they're not looking forward to being made fun of. So having something play out at the audience's expense feels cheap, or if it's not telegraphed well, even if it's like technically very complicated or difficult or brilliant in a certain sense, it's hard to appreciate that when you feel like you're asking for dessert, you're asking for ice cream, and someone puts steak on your plate. It might be a really good steak, but if you've already had dinner and you're ready for dessert, you don't want to eat that steak, right? It might be the best steak you've ever seen in your life, but you asked for ice cream. So you have to be so careful with that kind of thing. And I think, like I said, good direction is the process of entertaining the viewer through the journey, right? It's taking them on that journey with you rather than just giving them something and hoping that they get it. And Evangelion massively fails at setting expectations. I don't really care how amazing the concept behind a lot of that stuff is. I wasn't along for that ride. I think we need to do a bit of a different job here. I think we need to start with the idea of a screenshot. No, but that's not, I won't accept that. I won't accept this idea that it's a world. I won't accept a world building explanation for a direction level issue. It's not satisfying to say, oh no, you just don't get it. It's actually, this is the reason why. That people don't buy that. You can't say, like, I understand. For those of you who haven't watched it, what I'm about to say is a spoiler, but you won't get it. So it's okay. Like, saying that, like, it's, there's a global AT field, and what the last 2 episodes is Shinji's consciousness melding with all of humanity, because that's what the Human Instrumentation Project is. And it's supposed to be, that's what Zeal wanted, and that's what they were using the angels for, was to create this ending. It's like, well, that's maybe internally consistent, but not with the rules that we, the audience, have been working with. Like, there might be a valid explanation in that within the logic of the thing, but it's not a valid explanation to us because we weren't given any tools to reach that conclusion on our own. I typically find myself what's the word? I find myself quite critical of a lot of media that I consume these days. And I think for me, I know a lot of that is subjective, but I think that there's like an objective criteria you can use to deconstruct this kind of thing we're talking about right now, which is like, did a thing do enough to be reasonable? I think that was the trick of Ava. Whether they achieved the subversion is up to you, but I think they knew what they were doing. Oh, sorry. Taralis, I think I misunderstood. You were using Ava as an abbreviation of the anime Evangelion, not Ava as in like talking about literally I thought you were talking about the Avas. I didn't think you were talking about the writers of Evangelion. I thought we were talking about plot in that moment. We're talking about a few things here. We're talking about the expectation of it being a cool robot show and then turning into a psychological thing. I think they knew that's what they set out to make, whether or not they did it. I agree. I agree with that side. I think, yes. I mean, obviously, there is an intent. There's clearly an intent to put a lot of depth into it. That's without a doubt. The psychological aspects are really important to the writer. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put it in there in the first place. So you can't ignore that stuff. And I think there's value in that stuff too. But I don't think that it's like, what's the word? It's very hard to reach a point of payoff if you don't set up. Because for me, last night, I felt like I was getting spoken to. I felt like someone was talking at me about what psychology is. You know? I wasn't feeling like I was enjoying an anime. I felt like I was sitting in a lecture being told about what the human condition is and what reality is, and like, I wasn't even really agreeing with a lot of it. I was sort of like, well, this isn't really how I think about these things, and I haven't been convinced by this. You know, it's almost like when considering media as speech, you know, if media is speech, then there is a degree to which you can critically analyze that speech as logic. And I think, like an essay, you can say whether or not an essay is well written or poorly written. And it's about the delivery of the arguments and how well it establishes them and carries them out. And I think establishing arguments clearly, I mean, that's communication. That's what it is. So I mean, I don't know who could possibly say that they thought it was well written without it being a cope. I don't think it's well written. If we just think of the ending, I think that it was heading somewhere that could have been well written, but I think the choice to end it the way that they did is extremely poor storytelling. Even if it's fully intentional, like I just don't. It's certainly not something that I think I could ever find aesthetic. And I like a lot of esoteric stuff. Like I don't mind the cryptic. I don't mind cryptic storytelling. Yeah. I mean, I believe he was depressed. I believe the story. If someone said to me, the writer of this show was running out of money and he was panicking and in a mental spiral because he couldn't stick the landing in the schedule that he had. So the output of the last 2 episodes was just him expressing himself. That I get. Hey, Bigatti. How's it going? Yeah, I believe it. I believe that. Because it's so incoherent and so personal. You can tell. And there are parts of that are beautiful. I want to say that. Like, in that last episode, there are moments I was watching where I was seeing the art quality deteriorate in real time, from like polished animation frames to like animated sketches to animatics to pencil, with off kilter watercolor, to photography of like Japan. And I thought that it was so unfortunate that all of those are really subversive and interesting mixed media techniques. I like that as a way of like visually representing the deconstruction of someone's psyche. Making the art style become more simplified is actually kind of genius. But the fact that that wasn't part of a more confident ending that tied the loose ends of the plot together is extremely dissatisfying. It's so annoying because the like it or not, Evangelion is very plot centric, right? It's so plot heavy. It's so much of it is about the specific organizations and the specific technology, and even like the concept of like AT fields. Like you don't really find out what the AT stands for, and the acronyms and the UI and the like constant imposing of technology and logic. The idea of the magi and even all of this, the central dogma, all of these like jargon. The idea of there being like lots of jargon, lots of rules and protocols and overrides and strategies and backup strategies and 3 different Tokyos, and all of that implies that it invites us to be more analytical about what we're watching, because the promise is if you can keep up, you might be able to guess where this is going. That's how I see that. I see it as like a dare to pay attention. Especially when you introduce a mystery plot. When Kaji gets taken care of, from that point, whatever that is, episode 17, 18, until 26, where Misato is like she's us, trying to figure out what's happening, right? To not resolve that is criminal. It's criminal. I'm having a moment here while I'm looking at this where I think having coins be colored this way is not the way to go. I think maybe I just have to go the Super Mario Brothers route and simplify it down. I agree with you, Scott Ponder on YouTube. I think the same. Yeah, I just think I think having the colors be on the screen is not going to be good. The idea of the pearlescence, maybe I can get away with. I might try it just to see. I don't know about the circles though. Maybe they should be square. The coins in this game. With a hole in them. Or just square. I don't mind that, but the problem is that the game is about a blacksmith. So if you're collecting pieces of scrap metal, you would kind of hope that there was an implication there that the rest of the game world dealt in forging metal, like ore and stuff like that. And I'm not convinced that I want to go down that route, because it's not a blacksmith world. It's just he's a blacksmith in it. So if everyone deals in chips of metal, it might feel a little weird. Like I could do something like this. And they kind of rotate this way. Like on the diagonal. Paper money. No, I don't want paper money. I want like pirate money. Like I want like doubloons and stuff. But money, money, money. I guess the problem is there's so much of this is about how ornate it is. We could also, there's like a separate thing here of collectibles in a game like this, where there's like in say Donkey Kong Country, there's the bananas, which are currency, and then there's the Donkey Kong letters, which are unique collectibles in each level. So in a collectathon, there should be a distinction between stuff that you can get that just adds up to infinity and stuff that is treasure that you specifically has a limited amount of. What if it's a little bag of gold? Maybe we could do like stacks or something like that. I have a real criticism with how they do this in Donkey Kong Bonanza. I really don't like how they handle currency and collectibles in that game. Do you get currency from enemies? You can. Yeah, and it's just coins right now. Maybe I just leave it. Maybe I just leave it as it is. This all started because what I wanted to do was I've got lots of chests in the game. It's a bit hide and seeky, you know, like there's just like things in the game that are just one-off collectible chests that I just wanted to put in the game. And in the first part of the game, there is a chest or a couple of chests before you get to the town, and there are merchants in town. So I want to reward the player for opening the chests by being able to buy things in the town. I want to reward you with currency. So the struggle here is that I don't have an item that can represent denominations of money. I do have denominations. They're collectibles. There's these and these. But I don't have like 5 of them. I've only got 2 of them. And I can't, so if I want to say, oh, it's 30 gold, it's 30 lollies. Do I show you one of these? Do I show you one of these? Do I show you 10 of these stacked on top? You know, in Zelda, you open a chest, you get a purple rupee, it's 50. You get a gold rupee, it's 200 or whatever. Yeah, I don't want to do that, Ian. I want it to be fiat currency in this world. That's what I'm hoping to do. Like actual, currency. I don't want to do like abstracted icons in this context, because the rest of that stuff is like crafting materials, like shells and stuff like that. Gems we can't do because it's already in the magic system. So if we're talking about like rare minerals and things like that, that's more for the crafting system. But yeah, I want that. So for me, the currency kind of like solves that if it's coins. I just think it's a bit uninspired right now. Silver and gold coins. There's a lot of diamonds in the game. I could make them diamonds. It feels a little bit, I don't know if it's a little bit off to do that. I could have it be you open the chest and you see bing, 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 bing come into your hand or something like that. This is kind of okay, this idea of like chunky coins. I do like the idea of them being square is kind of interesting to me. And then have them be like rotating and then use a shader to determine the value. So I only draw one kind and then I just do the shader as logic. Well, the hole makes it very like Asian coins, but I'm a bit concerned that it might get too close to how I do. Well, kind of looks cool. I was thinking it might be too close to how I do other things in the game, but maybe this is right. Because the end signs have holes in them. You think that's cool? Oh, is that what they do the hole for? So you can put them on rope. Oh, that's on string. That's so smart. Wow. I never thought about that. You get like a stack of coins. Whoa. I just want to try going back to this again. It's probably too close to the end signs like this. I think it needs to be maybe just like a seltzer water equivalent of this. It's like it's a hint of another color. You know, it's not the whole color. A touch of blue. Like certainly you could do gold. Color of the year. Maybe we go all the way to bronze then. Maybe that's all we do. I actually like these a lot more than what I've got right now. Well, that's what I wanted to do. I want to do iridescent ones. I'm just thinking, how do I do it? Maybe we have like just green ones, you know? That kind of works. Let's try. Red coins doesn't feel quite right yet. Something about that doesn't quite work for me. I like the blue and the green. Yeah, red metal is just not, it's just not a thing, right? The blue as the best feels right. Yeah. I also think like having them be chunky like this is kind of cool. It's something stylistically, I don't know. It's a big step. I haven't really done in the game. I haven't really done a lot of how do I put it? Previously in the game, a lot of the stuff was to scale. And as I've been working on the game, the more I've been working on it, the more it feels like having things be chunkier and more stylized works across the board. Like it's kind of a good idea in general to do that. And so it's just about whether or not it's going to fit the rest of the game stylistically to do this. Like it might make everything else look quite flat. Maybe I'm just not used to them. Inflation. It's just about inflation. But yeah, we could do this. I mean, this is no problem. Yeah. Certainly the gold ones I like a lot. The gold ones feel like I want to collect those for sure. And the silver ones. The bronze ones, I wonder if they should even exist. Let's just get rid of them. So let's make it like 1, 5, 25, 100. Not that shade. No, it's red for health. This is actually pretty good. It's pretty unused territory. One more check. Could I do this at a smaller scale? Just a couple pixels smaller. Or will it just feel a bit nothing at that point? Too hard to read or perfect? Because they need to pop out of the enemies. That's the thing. If I want to have 3 coins or 10 coins pop out, they're not going to be 10 of these things. That's the only concern. I think these are cool. I think they're really cool. Especially if they got like a little bit of a 3D-ness to them. Yeah. Yeah, maybe the bigger ones are UI. I agree. All right, we're going to do 3 turnarounds. We're going to do square turnaround like this. We're going to do rotated turnaround like this. And we're going to do diamond turnaround. They're all going to be horizontal, I think. And actually with this one, you only need to go half the way. Let's have a think about it. No, I'm going to make it like fully rotate. Whoops. It probably is halfway, but I'm just doing it this way because I just want to visualize it. I probably could stop here and then reverse it. You're right, but I'm just going to do it this way for my own sake. Maybe. Let's see how I go, and then we'll think about it. I have no idea how that's going to look in the game. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. The bigger ones might be nicer. I might need to do a couple of them just to see if how they work together. If I go to this, actually an easy way just to do it. Go to a level section where they exist. Okay, definitely there's a frame where there's just too much it's just too many frames. It's like this one, this one, this one. This 4 frames of nothing. So let's make it 7, maybe. And we can even shorten this by 1. I know it doesn't look right, but I think in motion it'll be okay. Yeah, it'll look smoother. One sec, hang on. Well, remember, enemies have to drop these, so let me just set it up. What's this supposed to happen? See, like that? I made a mistake. I think that's the problem. This was last night. Why do they go white? I don't think that's supposed to happen. Let's have a look. Is it this? That's supposed to be a gradient from white to red? How did that happen? How did we lose that? Oh, that's so bad. It's supposed to be red to yellow to... Really? Oh, dude. Okay, let me just practice with this for a sec. How did that break? I could probably go back and find when it was good. Yeah, it is that. So weird. So it's gonna be... push it a little bit more red. They need a hurt box, I think. And an item box, apparently. pretty good. I like them quite a lot. Okay, let's do another turnaround. That's better. All right, let's try it. Thanks, everyone. I would like to be able to grow this channel somehow. I don't really know how to do it, but I wish I could do more to have more people find me. Cool. All right, going to do this slightly differently this time. Should they always be rotating this way, or should some of them be rotating like that way, like over the diagonal? I didn't watch the awards, if I'm being honest. It might be nice to sort of have it go a little off center. That might be really confusing. Let's keep it simple. I imagine there is a high effort path of taking things like making these coins and editing it into 30-second, 1-minute clips. Do you mean like as TikTok clips? Telling the story of how I made it through pixel art is almost always difficult because you're trying to explain something that took time in a shorter amount of time. So you could do like a time lapse, which is not impossible. It's pretty reasonable, but you know, you probably need some like narration or something over it. It's not that painstaking. What I need, I was talking to TJ this morning, TJ of Terminal, who you guys are talking about Prime. TJ works at Prime. I was chatting to TJ today about like, I don't know, maybe getting some help with editing. Because they use like an editor. They have a person who helps them edit content. And I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I'm leaving a lot on the table right now with how I work. And it's like when we talk about like whether or not it's possible, for example, to do like shorts of this kind of stuff, of course it's possible. Like ideally, like from the business perspective, I should be doing it, and I do it. I mean, you see me do it, but not enough. You know, like there's always this like, oh, you could be capitalizing more on this content, or you could be doing more with this content. You know, you could make more of it. You could blah 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 blah, and it's just like, well, it's hard. I'm making a video game. I'm responsible for, you know, paying for a bunch of people who work on the game with me, and I sometimes at the end of the day, I'm tired. Like I don't have the energy to do shorts content at the end of the day. Especially if it's not obvious that a specific thing that I did is going to make good content, or like where in the VOD do I go to find the bit that was funny? Like scrubbing through my own content at the end of the day is just like not the most exciting thing for me. You know, it's like I just finished doing all this work. What, now I have to go watch myself do it again to see if there was a moment that's worth putting on TikTok that maybe if it happens to be really viral or whatever, maybe it will introduce more people to my content. You know what I mean? Like it's just not a job that I'm really cut out to be doing. At the same time, it needs to be done, because if you don't do it, people who can do it will kind of get ahead. But I don't really even like to think about things in those terms, you know, like it kind of bothers me a little bit to try to be like, the business side of it is something that I struggle with emotionally. We've talked about this the other day. You know, it's not fun for me to think about things in these terms. It's not, I don't get a lot emotionally out of it. In fact, it takes a lot emotionally out of me to think like this. Cool. Okay. Next. Social media ban starts tomorrow. It's coming. Should have done that a long time ago. Random start frame. Why are they not different? 1, 2. Is it not X0 inclusive? There's no way. Min inclusive, max exclusive. Really? But it's an integer. There should be 2 in there. So 2, you can't get that value. Did I just get really unlucky? Oh, I literally did. Wow. I just rolled a nat 1 4 times. Thank you so much. I mean, I've been working at it. It's taken a long time to get to this point. But I'm happy with where it's at right now. Happier. It's getting there. Thank you, Off-Grid. Okay, one more turnaround. So we got this one, and now we're going to do the sort of diagonal one. Okay. And then we'll do the color replacement shader. That's what I want. I wonder how much we can cheat this just by doing this. This is us trying the final technique. You got to try things different ways, otherwise you won't ever learn anything. If you just always use the first way you did it. You know, it's not great, but maybe we can do something with it and get it where we need it to be. This is the messy way. I mean, that could have been way worse. I think we're missing out on some opportunities here to make the depth a bit more obvious. Like, this should actually technically be flipped so that this is on top and this is below. Same with this. It wasn't quite right. Or am I wrong? No, it was right the first time. I guess it depends on what axis we're rotating around. You can see here it tilts. I don't like that at all. It's no longer symmetrical if it's going to do it this way. Let's try some stuff here. So clunky. That's all right. That'll do. So this one needs to not be. I think we need to bring this sort of in a little bit by like. Yeah, much better. Done. Okay. Made the mistake again. Okay. Where is the third one? 1, 2, 3. Retro box. Chuck it in. What did I just do? I'm sure I just threw this in here. Okay. Well, now you do. Okay. And then bump, 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 bump. And then this gets the third one, and we're done. No coins. It's pretty good. Yeah, the hitbox. I don't know why I've got 2 of them. I'm not sure what that's for, but I have 2 of them. So should I have them rotate at different speeds? That's not too hard to do. It totally is the Roblox logo. You're actually so right. Are you a child, Vatrodox? Or do you have children? It didn't even cross my mind. Oh, they're hovering at the same time. Yeah. Okay, first of all, this 7 to 12 should be like 8 to 10. And then they have a hover script that currently just, I don't think it's... It's very annoying when they're not in a set, when they're randomized like that. I got an idea. Use the X position. That was a sick hack. That was sweet. That was like very big brain, okay? I don't feel bad saying it. They offset by half an oscillation based on their world position on the x-axis. For every unit, they go offset by half of a beat. Okay, now here's the trick. Take all this, edit, color mode, RGB, sprite, edit, adjustments, hue saturation, get the saturation out of there. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to do a color replace. Or I could give them like a special color that's very obvious. If I load palette, it's this, and then it's E for ensigns. Where do I put you? Here, but I don't have that pink. I'll just keep them. They should be nice and distant, the colors. Let me do just like this. And I'll just... crank the saturation to infinity. And then it'll be this, 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 but then this is like all the way up here and super saturated and like that. And then this one is like, well, they should all be pretty saturated. It keeps them distant. Okay, so let's take all these things here and go, this color is this color. This color is this color. This color is that color. This color is this color. I don't know what happened here. Okay. So first of all, let's do this little fun trick just to prove that it works. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to do color replacement shader. Okay, so what we need here is a palette. So we can take this sprite here and we can go here and paste it. Palette. Ensign palette swap. Please. There we go. And then we want to pass this into this. So now we're looking at this, and then this goes here. And then we pick the colors that we have and the colors we want to swap to. So let's double check that's working. This is this, and then this needs to have this on it. Okay. Now, the colors we've chosen are these colors. So we're going to go you. These colors map to these colors. Let's try it first. Oops, didn't need to do that. Delete you. And it already works. There we go. They're all green at the moment. And we're not going to use those colors. We're going to use well, we're going to go back to our silver ones. So it's, let's go bump, 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 bump. So it's these minus this one. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, we never went to this dark color, I don't think, but that's okay. We just won't use it. One sec, pals. Be right back. I might be a little while. I just got to respond to something. Okay, chat. I'm not out of the woods yet. Basically, can I tell you a quick little story? I've just got a notification about 15, 20 minutes ago on my Ring camera on my home address, where I am at home, saying that there's a person at the front door. And I checked the front door, and there's an old lady standing in the front yard. And I've sort of introduced myself. Hello, what's your name? And she's from like half an hour away. She's from like 25 kilometers away. She must have just gotten on a bus and found herself here, but like not very coherent, and I'm not able to understand what she's saying. She's very calm and peaceful, but she's clearly nowhere near home. So I've called the number. She's got a number on a tag, like a luggage tag on her walker. And the man on the other side is like, oh, you found her. And then the police, he must have called the police earlier because they came in to his house and they've picked up the phone. And so the police are coming to take her home. But she's a very lost old lady. So I'm going to wait out the front a bit longer to see if I can make sure that she gets home okay. But she seems fine. She's very calm and peaceful and nothing's wrong. She's just sort of found herself. She wasn't even knocking on the door or anything. She was just standing in the yard facing the road. So anyway, be back in a bit. Okay, chat. Unfortunately, this side quest is going to go on a little bit longer here. Maybe I'll do a very quick... I mean, she's not alone. Malishka's out there with her. So right in this moment, we're okay. I suppose I could very quickly, just for the sake of what we're doing right now, just say that we were going to do this. This is so weird. Dun, 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 dun. And then it's so confusing. We had the different ones here, right? We had the other versions. Yeah, and that's just the normal green and blue. Cool. Okay, that's good. That was this, and then this, and then this could be that, but I'd like to go a bit brighter and more saturated. Boom. Great. Okay. Save that. And then there we go. Those are our color replaced coins. Did she at least bring me a magical sword? No. She didn't even throw a sword at me. All right, chat. So we've got color replacement on our coins that are all rotating and moving at different times. It's great. I've got to go now to attend to this old lady. Hey, Thetra. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So an elderly woman has basically gotten lost in my front yard, and the police are coming to pick her up, but they're going to be another half an hour. So I've got to go wait with her while they come. So, a bit awkward, but you know, it is what it is. I'm happy to wait out there. I just hope they said that they would be here soon, and that was half an hour ago. So I'm a bit concerned about how long they might be. I don't know how many more hours we'll be waiting out the front, and it's quite hot out there. I would invite her in as a guest on stream, but I'm not sure how appropriate that would be. All right, chat. Thank you so much for checking out the stream today. You should wishlist Insignia if you want to support me and the old lady. Her name's Miriam, by the way. That's it. That's the stream. As always, I've been Adam. You've been the Pixel Pals. This has been the Indie Tales Game Dev live stream. Until next time.